Remember 64 is part of the SuperPod Podcast Network. Oh yeah, we are teamed up with a whole bunch of awesome people that some you may have heard on Remember 64 already, but there's a bunch of different great gaming shows, anywhere from Fine Time to Bar Silence to Retro Wildlands. You can of course find the SuperPod Saga on there, Press B to Cancel, all of these awesome shows that are just here to talk about great times with games, share their thoughts with you, our experiences with you. Check us out, SuperPod Network, on your podcast app of choice, and superpodnetwork.com, where you can find all our shows, blog posts, videos, and more.
They're lining up. A lot of heavy machinery out there. Call the insurance company because we're about to do some property damage today.
Here comes the snap. Matthews back, rolling right. Can't find his man. Here comes the blitz. Simmons.
The one game that hits so hard, your mama's mama will feel it. NFL Blitz 2000 from Midway. New 4-player mode, customizable play editor, and more sledgehammer quality fun than ever.
Oh, mama, tuck me in. I'm ready to go. Night-night.
Welcome to Remember 64, where this week we are going to fuck it, chuck it, football. Welcome to the show, everyone. Whether it's your first time joining us or you have been with us for quite some time at this point. This is Remember 64, where we are going through the good, the bad, and the ugly, and everything in between of the Nintendo 64 library. My name is David Petrangelo, and yes, I'm going to fuck it, chuck it, football, because I do sports, I do arcade, I win game. That is me. Jiggy, look back, here with me again. Hello, sir. How are you?
Hello. I'm an avid football fan, so I'm very happy to be on this special episode. Okay, it's a lie. I can't even.
You can't.
I know nothing.
That's it. That's it. Guys, I just know that it's the game of football. That's it.
I don't even know what.
Beautiful.
Honestly.
And joining us this time, kind of on a whim, man. I thank you for hopping in. We are happy to have you back. Mr. SuperPod Saga himself. Aaron, how are you, man?
I'm pretty good, man. I've got a little bit of a stomach ache, but nothing a little Red Bull and football can't fix.
There you go.
I think we have 3 football experts on this show, so this is perfect.
Oh, yeah.
We are going to be talking about NFL Blitz, and there are 4 different NFL Blitz just on the 64. Obviously, it was on arcade as well. But we're basically just going to be talking about all of them because there's not a massive difference between all. We'll sort of mention some of the stuff as we go along, but we are talking NFL Blitz. As of this episode actually recording and releasing, I believe it's going to be just before the Super Bowl, so all about timing, everybody.
Perfect.
Woohoo, go
Hell
football. Yeah. I think that's why I was like, let's play Blitz, but also it's fun, stupid arcade action. So,
It is fun.
so before I want to get started though, Aaron, we are part of this amazing group of podcasts that you are basically, I would say that you're probably the maestro
president.
behind all, the president, the maestro, I don't know, some title like that, of getting the SuperPod network together. Let's talk about it a little bit, because our shows are part of it, but there's a whole bunch of them, and there's a lot of extra stuff too, which is cool to talk about. Let's talk about that a bit.
Yeah, man. So Tony and Thrak, they call me boss all the time whenever we're in a show or something together. They always say, "Hey, boss man," and like, "Yeah, that's me." But yeah, it's SuperPod.
I don't know if I'm
Network.
going
It's
to
just,
do that, but I might.
It's fine.
Every once in a while. It's fine. Your pay will be docked, but it's okay. You don't have to. Yeah.
Shit. Okay. Yeah. So SuperPod Network. It's a little. Well, I guess not little anymore. It's gotten a little bit bigger, but it's a network of indie video game podcasts, and we do a lot of blogs too. People will do their own little blogs, like individual ones. Sometimes we do collaborative ones, like we did our favorite GameCube games or SNES games and a bunch of other stuff like that. Sometimes we'll do videos. to cover certain events like Nintendo Directs or what we call the SuperPod Super Show, which is just like mashing everybody, like as many people as we can get together into one episode to just talk about whatever the hell we want.
It's great. It's a great opportunity to just like shoot the shit about, whatever.
Anything. Yeah. Like football.
Like football.
Just kidding. I don't know anything about football. Wait, no, I know everything about football. Sorry.
Everything. Yeah, come on. What?
Everything.
Come on, boss.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's right. Yeah, it's great. Like, I think when you initially asked me sometime last year, I was like, yeah, this is a great idea. It's awesome. And then I basically just like didn't do the show for 6 months. So I was like, I felt so bad. Felt like I wasn't part of the team or like, pulling my weight or whatever. But more and more shows, more and more awesome people have been joining. And there's so much extra stuff that everyone's doing, like the blogs, for example, and all these extra episodes and shows and polls and all this kind of stuff. So SuperPod Network is .com is where you can find everybody, including us, and all the extra content as well. There's also a Discord channel, so there's lots of stuff you can join Discord server and also under SuperPod Network. So we're just it's cool to be able to have a bunch of awesome people doing, like you said, like indie podcast stuff and sort of reaching out and working with each other. And
yeah,
everyone's got a great personality. Everyone's got great shows. Why not mash us all together and kick some ass while we're at it, right? Like it's awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so let's get into some football, gents. Jiggy, I'll go to you first. Are you a football guy necessarily? Did you play NFL Blitz? Are these types of games a thing that you've played? Like what's as someone, I always sort of ask this because you're younger than me, so it's just like I feel like the perspective's slightly different. But is it different at all? Is this something that you came across when you were growing up?
Guess what? I did play this growing up.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I played this growing up is because I have a cousin who is actually younger than me who loves football.
Okay.
Every time we go over, it was like, hey, let's throw football. Like, the man is committed. He played football in the house when he was younger, even though my aunt yelled at him, and he totally like smacked his head on like a bed frame and had like a big bubble.
Naturally.
And had to go to the hospital. It was fantastic. Like, he's dedicated. But every time we went over, he's like, let's play some NFL Blitz. I'm like, okay. And I realized replaying this game that I play exactly how I played when I was like 8 and had no idea what I was doing. It's the exact same thing. I go through, it shows all the plays. You see all the little X's, the lines and everything. I'm like, I don't know. This one looks cool. Boom, click. I just get tackled and thrown backwards, and I'm like, well, I suck. So that's pretty much my experience.
And was it I assume it was console at that time? Like like
console.
On 64 and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, well, we did a little bit of both. We had 64. I think there's a PlayStation 1 version. Because they had a PS1, and I remember playing it on that. So.
Yeah, there was. And it's one of those games where it's like, it was treated as like a regular sports game. They're kind of everywhere. Like they were on everything. There's one almost every year. All that kind of stuff. So, Aaron, what about you, man? Same thing? Similar? Not at all?
Oh man, so I remember for sure playing NFL Blitz on PS1. I couldn't tell you which hell one it was. I think it was like 98 or 97.
Yep.
I don't remember at all, but I remember you could basically make your own team and you drew packs of cards, and that was cool because I'm a card guy, and I was like, dude, there's cards in this? What the fuck? And then you can name your team whatever you want. It was like the Cincinnati Sugar Rush or something stupid. And
that's actually pretty sick. I like that.
Yeah, dude. And I'm not a big sports guy, if I'm being totally honest. But like arcadey sports games like NFL Blitz or even like Neo Turf Masters, shit like that. That's my bag, dude. This is actually, I played probably a good like couple hours of Blitz, and like it wasn't bad. It was pretty fun.
Yeah. For me, I was of the age and of the sort of time where like these games were like, sure, I had pretty much every NHL game. I had maybe every other Madden game. I had a FIFA game every once in a while, but like these are the ones that always we kind of gravitated to as with my friends and stuff. And this was even a game, at least an original one. I don't remember if like 2000 or whichever number, 99, whatever number they had, was also in the arcade. But I played this game even in the arcade when we could have like literally with the friends I was at the arcade could have gone to his house and just played it like for free, like, but it was like, oh, it's Blitz. It's a joystick. You have like a couple buttons. Let's play. And then you put in like, 50 cents or a quarter or whatever it is, like every half. So you had to pay sort of as you progressed through the game, whether you're on your own or playing with someone else or something. So I had a lot of experience playing these games. I even have I think it's on the shelf behind me somewhere. I'm gonna grab it. It is. Aha, I do. I love these games so much that when I got older, when they re-released these games, like maybe like 2-3 years after they stopped making these slightly more like cartoony arcadey ones, they had Blitz the League, which is kind of like when you think of like how Mortal Kombat nowadays handles like when you do super moves or whatever they call them, and you see like the bones crack and like the organs get crushed and stuff. This game has that.
Yeah,
so
that's
like
actually awesome.
Yeah, you hit a guy and his knee his kneecap just bursts open.
That's awesome, dude.
And it's so crazy. So it doesn't have, we'll get into this too, but it doesn't have any actual players in it. It's all separate from the NFL, but whoever made this, it's still, okay, Midway still published it, but, so they still had they probably had the rights to it and stuff, but Renderware made it. I don't know who that is. But basically, like, what's crazy about this is, like, you think these games are over the top. This thing not only did that, where it zoomed in when someone got hurt, but in order to heal your players, you use, like, steroids and illegal drugs.
Heal your players.
Yeah, that's what it was. So it was like, instead of waiting for the guy to fully heal for, like, 4 games or whatever, you could just give him drugs, and then he would come back out the next game, and he would have, like, it would change, like, his stats. So he might run faster, but he was more likely to fumble the ball, whereas before he was pretty evened out, like stuff like that. So they added all this extra stuff to it, and you were like you're the GM of the team, but you got to play the games too. Yeah, it's pretty wild. I remember I saw this like in the store not long ago. It was like $6.99. I'm like, my Xbox still works, and I want to play this game. So
yeah, that makes me want to play it. Did you ever play NFL Street on 360?
Yes. Dude,
because that one,
all 3 of those games are amazing. All those games are awesome. And that's what I mean by like all these types of games is that the NFL Street ones, SSX, I would say is kind of similar to it, which to me is like, those are my favorite. Like SSX 3 to me is like the best sports game
Not Tricky
ever made. No, Tricky's the second one, I think. 3 for some reason, I don't know, maybe I just played. I also have that behind me somewhere.
3, the one where you can play as Mario and Yoshi on the or something.
Maybe
like
on the GameCube. Maybe
that was SSX on tour.
Yeah, that might have been the one when they like released it separate from the. Yeah,
there was like these weird like sequence of like sport related games where you could just play as like Mario for some reason on GameCube. It was like the GameCube version's not selling. Let's throw Mario in there.
Yeah, we know it's not going to do as well, so we got to do that to sell it. Yeah,
that's what I was going to say. The NBA Street on GameCube, you could play as Mario, Luigi, and Peach. And then they had. Then they had fucking Mario Hoops 3-on-3 on DS, where you could be like a black mage or a Moogle and a Cactar, I think.
That's awesome.
That was pretty cool.
I wish I played that one. I know of it, but I never played it. Like that stuff's awesome. That stuff's great. So like all these games are like are kind of my shit. Like all these games are my shit, and I'm a sports guy. Like the hockey runs through my blood, not just because I'm Canadian, but it's just always something I've always done. And
big deal in your family.
Big deal in my family. Like all this stuff, right? It's. Soccer's big in my family too. A lot of people played it growing up. Tennis, like everything. Like think about it. Pretty much because we're in Canada, football's not as huge. Everyone just watches the NFL. CFL is something, but it's much smaller and not quite as big. But you put something like this in front of you, especially as a kid, and you're like, yeah, I get to just destroy the other team and my buddies. Of course you're gonna freaking play it. Like obviously. So this game, I was like. It's really easy to just pick up and play. It's just wild arcade sports is all it is.
Yeah.
So I was happy to replay this. I still think for the most part it holds up. I don't know if you guys think it feels like too old school or if it feels too arcadey or I don't know. Do you guys think it like still feels all right?
That's what I like about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, I like that it's simple. Otherwise I never would have understood anything.
Well, that's fair. Yeah.
And I just love that every single player is just hyper buff. Like unrealistically buff, like 3 times
like
the
Samus.
buffness.
Yep.
And they come up and they grab people. Like, it's not just a tackle. They will literally go and grab someone like by the shirt and just like throw them.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to think of what now you got Mortal Kombat on my brain, but I mean, it's very
there's like
vicious.
there's wrestling moves in it essentially. Like that's guys are doing leg drops on guys and like it's
the leg drops. They'll fly across the fucking screen at you to tackle you. It's so good.
So that's
I fucking
so like the hits are crazy and the guys are big or whatever. But I think like a lot of the fun was like, and still kind of is.
Like, look at this.
Yeah, the play's done, and you can just keep drop kicking the guy until the screen changes.
He
Like
literally
it's just
does a ground pound, like a Mario style ground pound on the body, laying on the
body
ground.
slam. Yeah,
dude, keep going. Then they do those goofy fucking dances when they get a touchdown too, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like the thing I always do is
holy shit.
Let's say you I think if like you run out of bounds, you can kind of still run with the ball or whatever, right? And if you're close to the end zone, the guy starts doing like a little bit of like a dance or whatever.
Yeah,
so I just keep running and watch the guy sort of like prancing with the ball and stuff. It's fucking hilarious. It's so funny.
Like he's leading a marching band.
Yeah. That's what it's like. Yeah. So they have fun with it. And the wildest thing is that these are all actual NFL players. Like these are the rosters from that, which is like, I know there's no way they would do it now because they don't make these games anymore, but I can't believe they said yes to this shit. It's crazy. To me, it's crazy. Like,
I don't know much about football, but I am from Wisconsin, so playing as Brett Favre felt right. That's all.
Or nowadays, pretty wrong, but
well,
at the time,
what's wrong with Brett Favre?
Yeah, he's a bit of a schmuck, but that's just my opinion.
I don't actually know. I don't know much
retire.
about him.
He won't retire. He wouldn't retire or won't retire, and he's.
Is he still playing? What?
No.
But
he did play for
years ago.
But he did play for a long time though. Like he played for a while.
I remember he was a turncoat, went to the Vikings.
Damn.
See that toss? Yeah, baby.
See that toss? Fucking air guitar, dude. He's going insane.
Never mind the throw. Look at that
air
guitar. And they also have like voiceovers and stuff too, which is great.
It's so good, dude. Oh my god.
Yeah, I felt like it played. Do you remember which ones you guys played? Because I know there's like a bunch. They're kind of all kind of the same, right?
I can answer that. And
you can or you can't.
I can. I think
I played 2001 for
2001?
sure.
I played a 99.
Yeah, so I think that's the second or third one or something. I don't know. I played the first one. I think the one we're looking at now is I think the first one. And then I played either 2000 or 2001 because there's people that mod this game, which makes sense. It's a sports game and it's a wild arcade game and stuff. And they have all the updated rosters. Like this year's rosters. They have a 2025 version and
what
stuff.
The fuck? That's cool.
So people are adding that. All the stats are sort of updated. It's like, if you're a shitty team, the stats aren't as good, like things like that. So like it's all the update. It's the same game. It plays the exact same way. But other than that, the three that I played here and there and mostly played that 2001, I think it just like looks better. Like it just looks cleaner. The differences. Like that was the biggest thing I noticed. Mm-hmm. The plays are somewhat different, but that's just because it's like looking as opposed to Jiggy, who's like, whatever, I'll just pick the one with the big arrow. I was like actually trying to like pick a certain one.
I'm looking at it. They're showing the thing, so I can't sit there and just like look at them to see what they do because it gives you this anxiety-inducing countdown of like 10 seconds.
Yeah,
that's
and you're like,
true.
Blah, 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 and then you're like reading the names, and there's stupid names like Monkey and
and the bomb. The bomb is the best.
Yeah,
the bomb is by far the best.
Man,
it's great. It's a good play.
I will say I did understand when it said free point. That one I got
because you didn't have to do anything and it gave you a point.
You just click it, free point. Okay.
Or fucking what's the kick thing they do? It's not a
the field goal.
Yeah, field goal. I was
or
thinking free throw like a fucking idiot, but that's basketball.
It's kind of the same. It's not worth any. Well, it is. It's still worth points. It's still worth points.
That's true.
So,
football.
Welcome
free
to NFL
throw.
Blitz, where the points are made up and don't matter. Right?
There we go. Yes. Yeah. The point.
God
where is it?
damn
The games are made up and the points don't matter. What is it? And whose line? Something like that, right? Is that what it is? The rules are made up and the points don't matter. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, Yeah, Aaron, I don't know. Did you have a good time with it? Because I think you said when I was like, oh, hey, do you want to play this? You're like, yeah, I barely touched these games. Was it a good time? Do you remember like was it good? I don't know. Did you like it?
Yeah, man. I put what did I say? I think I put like
a couple hours or something.
like 2 or 3 hours into the game, just kind of goofing around, trying to get a feel for it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was actually pretty fun, man. Like it wasn't as like I've never played a newer Madden game. I've seen maybe other people playing them here and there, or seen like videos of it, and it seems real fucking demanding. Like it demands that you really know your shit. But in Blitz, no, like with Jiggy picking random plays and still being able to make a touchdown, dude.
Yeah,
like you don't
to
even know
compete.
the plays at all. You just pick one and then you just run, dodge, hit turbo. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and you hold on to turbo literally the entire game, and then just hope for the best. I don't know,
and it's sweet. Like, look at that shit, dude. The wrestling moves they do, and like, yeah, it's fast. Like it feels way faster than it's much faster than an actual like Madden game or like a football simulator type game, dude. It's yeah.
Well, that's what the EA games are, right? Like, you know, Madden or FIFA or, you know, whatever. They don't call it FIFA anymore. They just call it football, maybe. They dropped the FIFA license. That's all I know.
Shit.
Yeah, they did like this year or last year's was the first time they did it because FIFA's corrupt as shit, and they were like, nope, we're not dealing with you anymore. All those are like they are very simulation like that's what they're going for, right? And then they're like, hey, we'll throw in a big head mode for you if you want. But like, wouldn't you rather just play Blitz? Like, come on. It's like they're never gonna do this. That's the thing, is like they can throw in an arcadey mode that feels different or what, but they're never gonna.
So cool, dude! Like, yeah, FIFA Blitz.
Oh, dude,
that'd be awesome.
Just drop kicking guys with like soccer cleats. Their faces are just fucking mangled and like.
It's called Mario Strikers. I'm telling you.
Oh, I gotta play that game. I've only like touched it a couple times. And that's it. Yeah.
Actually, the Wii one's the best one in my opinion.
Or I think there's a Neo Geo soccer game that's really good. Soccer Brawl. That game's awesome.
Soccer Brawl.
Soccer Brawl. It's just a bunch of like cyborg dudes kicking a ball around. It actually rules, man.
Oh, this is like the baseball NES.
It does look awesome.
Robots. This is like there's a NES game that was robots, but it was baseball. Base Wars.
Base Wars?
Yeah.
That sounds fucking
so sweet. This is like somewhat similar to Blitz where you do this aggressive stuff.
Got tank wheels.
Dude,
Holy shit.
I knew there's a Mega Man soccer game too.
Oh, there is. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Base Wars is crazy. So like if you tried sometime, I don't know if it was all the time, but it was like a close play. Let's say the guy's trying to throw you out at first or second base or something, right? And the ball's really close to when you touch the base. Instead of like, you know, going to the judges or the you know, the guys that sort of look at the tape or whatever in real life, you fought the guy and you'd have like a mini fighting game like in the middle of the game. And it's like, oh, if you won, you got the base. Shit. If you lost, you're out. Like, that's amazing. That's such a good idea.
I'm downloading the ROM right now.
Yeah, do it. From a game that's like from like, you know, probably 88 or 89 or something like that. Like, that's a sick idea.
That's exactly the type of shit that I want in a sports game, dude. Just something nonsensical and then stupid. That's exactly what I want.
Well, and that's like, I mean, I don't know how the rights work with this stuff or whatever, but something like Blitz, it doesn't have to be like on a football field. You know, it could be the same game. It could emulate what football does, but it could be robots. It could be aliens. It could be a mix of a bunch of shit, and it would still be fun. Like it's cool that it's real teams, and it's fun that you could be like, hey, my favorite team, I just drop kick someone, or I just leg drop the guy that, you know, the player that I just watched on TV last week. Or I get that, but at this point, these games are fun because they're fun, not because you give a shit about these teams, right? At least, especially now, 20 years later, after these were out, 25 years later. Like this Base Wars thing is a perfect example. I like baseball. I'll watch baseball all the time, but I would rather play this game than a real one. like a simulation one. Like, why wouldn't you?
I kind of feel, well, I guess not the same way. I have I kind of like watching hockey live. I've only seen the live hockey game one time in my whole life, but it was pretty sweet. But like arcade hockey games, like what the fuck is the one on Sega Genesis?
I'm gonna let you find out what it is, because those games are even more so than all the ones I mentioned. Those games are the best, and it's So find out which one that is, because the one I played was always on Xbox, GameCube, and maybe 360 or something. It was all in that area. NHL Hits, that's what they were called.
NHL Hits.
It was
NHL
Midway.
All-Star Hockey.
Also, maybe it was All-Star Hockey. But Hits was Midway, just like Blitz was. So think about whatever this game is, but with hockey. And it's only 3-on-3. It's super fast. If you do a bunch of hits or, you know, get a bunch of shots and stuff like that, you had like a bar, like, you know, the turbo bar at the bottom. If you ever guys ever got anyone that was like on fire in these games, it's much harder to do.
Yeah.
You have to like complete a pass, I think 3 times in a row or something, to the same person. In Hits, it's a similar thing. You have to hit a bunch of guys and your meter builds up, and then your whole team's on fire. No one can get knocked down. Your shots are like bullets every time you shoot. If you take a really hard slap shot and it hits the goalie, he might save it, but he'll fall over. Like, he'll get knocked over and his helmet will pop off, and like there's crazy fights, and if you lose a fight, you're out of the game and you have to replace him with someone else. The game is unreal. And same thing with Blitz. They made like 4 or 5 of them or something a few years in a row, and I have so many memories playing those games, and they're so much fun. And they were made a couple years after these, so they're a little bit more, they look a little sharper, play a little bit better, that kind of thing. But those games are the fucking best. They're so good.
Honestly, this game graphically looks pretty good. The shadows are shadows.
Yeah,
Something I always look for,
that's right. They're not just blocks.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
that's pretty cool. Yeah, keep going. Dog pile.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. I think I wouldn't be surprised. I should have looked that up. I wouldn't be surprised if there's codes where you can extend the time of after the play, so you can just beat guys up more. Like, so it's not just like 4 seconds or something like that. Did you find the game, Aaron? Did you find the hockey game?
Yeah, it was Mutant Hockey League.
Oh,
yes.
Hockey League. Yes, I know that one.
And there's like there's a team with all skeletons, or one where it's like all pig dudes.
Yep. See, that's the shit we need. 100%. Oh my god.
It's just stupid fun, man. It's just stupid fun.
Like there's got to still be a market for that, right? There's no way that something like Blitz or that game, like
us.
Well, yeah, us, but
man,
like,
come on.
You know, if we want to play it, I'm sure there's lots of people that want to play it. Like, there's got to be, right? Like, come on.
It's probably one of those things. Like, Madden is so like big at the forefront that everyone's just like afraid to put a football game out, because they're like, there's no way we're gonna compete with Madden every year.
Yeah, that's there is a football game that's similar. Mutant football? No, you just said you just said
that sounds right. Mutant? I think there's I think it's like Blood Bowl.
Blood Bowl. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Oh, there is a Mutant Football League though. Is that the one that you just said? No. Yeah, no, Mutant Football League is the one I'm thinking of. It's like orcs and shit. And they all have like spikes on their shoulder pads and stuff.
That's great.
Like, I can't remember which one I've played, but I tried like a free trial and like a weekend on Steam or something like that, and it was fun, man. It was pretty fucking cool. Like,
that reminds me of did you guys fuck with any of the cheats in this game? Because this game has a lot of cheats.
I wanted to. I did not. I didn't get to it. Did you?
Okay.
What did you use?
Do it.
You can, like, when the game is loading and you see the teams and they have the 3 little boxes.
The thing at the
underneath.
bottom, yeah.
Yeah, you can just, like, if you push a certain combination of buttons, you can pick, you can get, like, there's just a shit ton of different stuff. Like, I think I got, always Blitz mode or something like that. Hyper Blitz mode is what it was. My bad.
Hyper
Blitz mode.
Did you get it by accident?
Yeah, I was just tapping
buttons.
buttons.
Shit. That's amazing.
There's an invisible cheat. You can make your whole team invisible, so you don't know what's going on ever. You're just like, your whole team's invisible, and it's impossible to find.
Oh, there is one there is a cheat. Yes. Okay. Yes. Now that I look at the list, there's one that's called late hits, and it lets you hit the guys longer after the play ends, so you could do more of the crazy shit afterwards and stuff. So there's that. a night game, no head mode. Never mind big head mode. There's a no head mode. Oh my god, there's so many. Oh yeah, Hyper Blitz. Damn, look at that.
Hyper Blitz.
Turn off stadium. I guess like it's just black in the background. I don't know. Super field goals. Power defense, power blockers, no punting, no out of bounds. Could you imagine just running
What the fuck?
all the way around?
It'd be amazing.
Yeah, invisible quarterback, hyper blitz, fast passes, big head team. Yeah, that's awesome.
There's a bunch of extra characters too, and there's an alien.
Yeah,
There's a boxer, a dino, Grinch. There's
Grinch.
to this fucking
Like
game,
Grinch.
dude.
Bonus players. There's a guy that's named. You can be the Grinch. You can be a thug, apparently, whatever that is.
They'll just have like a cap on and like a trench coat or something.
I'm just looking at the list. It doesn't actually have a picture or anything like that, but
Yeah.
onside kick, how to do it. Yeah, there's tons of shit in this. Like, and that's the other thing too is, this game played and looked pretty much exactly the same in the arcade. So if you knew that code, like whether you accidentally got it or not, if you knew that code and you went to the arcade, you could put the same one in when you got to the machine, and it would play the same way. Like, that's great. Like to have. I mean, I know the arcades sort of late '90s were slowly but surely gone. Like that. They this is around the time that they died, but like this is one of those games that like translated so well because it's just there to be, like we keep saying, goofy fun, and it works regardless of what controller or control scheme you're using, I think. Like, I don't know that really makes a huge difference. I think it felt fine on the 64 controller, but like...
Oh, hell yeah.
Like, would it be improved if I had it on Xbox? Probably not. Like, it doesn't... I don't think it would matter. I think you just have... You have the button right underneath the joystick, or you could use a D-pad.
Let me just... you can't move past perfection. Right? There's no better controller than
why try? Guys, we played this game with the best controller ever made.
All you need is one joystick.
All you need is one joystick.
Nintendo knew.
Yeah. They always knew.
The back pedal because people they don't understand.
They just come on, people. Let's go. Like,
they don't.
Man, I remember playing whichever the fuck Blitz game I had on PS1 back in the day. I had a friend come over and stay the night, and he didn't really care. He didn't really care for any of the other games I had that were co-op. Like, I think I had Gauntlet Legends and a couple other games, and he was like, "No, let's play Blitz, man. You'll like it. Just watch this shit." We would play against each other and just like punch in random cheat codes and see what we get. Like, we just tap buttons.
Hell yeah!
Just tap the fuck out of the buttons on the loading screen and just get random cheats, and it would just be madness and chaos, dude. Like, that shit was so much fun. I'll probably get my brother-in-law over here one of these days to play it, just to goof around and just it's total goof game. And I wish there was a way to do like 4 players, like 4 teams on the screen. That'd be just madness, man.
Oh yeah, like
4. It's like a 4, like vertical and horizontal. Like,
yeah,
I think you just invented a
like
new
a cross shape.
It's a cross shape. End zones. I don't even know.
Can you imagine
what
4 crosses? Someone walks in and they're just like, "What are you doing?"
The ref walks in and he's like, "Fuck, it's ultra football day."
Oh man, now they brought religion into this fucking thing. God damn it! Just crosses everywhere. What?
Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
It's called
ultra football.
Ultra football. Like, and that's what's crazy about this. Like you're saying, like, oh, we can ask someone over and play it, and like, even if they've never played this before, or it's been a long time, like pretty much like all 3 of us, you could pretty much pick up and play this game. You might.
Yeah.
You might get used to like, oh, I have to, really pay attention to which guy's flashing to throw it to or whatever. But like, a couple buttons, what turbo is. Once you figure out how the passing works, that's it. That's pretty much it. Like that's the gist of it. In a good way, I think. That's not a bad thing. Oh,
in a midway.
Yeah, midway. And that's the thing. It's a midway thing. And
yep. They were really good about that.
Dude, they fucking figured it out in so many games in so many different ways, right? Like, and I think this is probably one of the things they're most known for, is probably this series, would be my guess. Like, if you say Blitz, I think they just automatically, or if you say Midway, Blitz automatically comes up. So, and then of course, there's always, I recorded on the little soundboard here a couple things. I didn't get to enough as I wanted to, but of course, there's the announcer of all the Midway games, all the Midway like sports games and stuff, right? Like that guy's, this is NFL Blitz. Like it's just, he does the same thing in the hits games, which is great. It's the same guy, just talking hockey stuff. One of the ones that I love, I don't know if it shows up in any of the NFL ones, but in the hockey ones, every once in a while when you do like a really huge hit, the guy goes, he just took the express elevator to the basement. It's so good.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, and then of course there's NBA Jam and stuff too, which is obviously very similar with like all that crazy shit. But like that line, because we played that game so much at hits growing up, is when we were actually playing hockey, sometimes guys would actually yell that out off the bench when someone got hit. We would use that as a line when someone got hit in an actual hockey game, and it was great. Which ones? Yeah, go ahead, Jiggy. Yeah.
I just followed kind of the Midway Games rabbit trail here just to see kind of what they dip their hands in.
Mm-hmm.
And Mortal Kombat came up quite a bit, no shocker, like kind of just arcadey stuff in general.
Yeah.
But then they did kind of morph into NetherRealm Studios.
Yes.
Which continued the Mortal Kombat trend and Injustice and like.
Well, because I think WB bought Midway or Midway went bankrupt or something like that, and then NetherRealm is Mortal Kombat.
Tale as old as time.
So, yeah, right, yeah. So there is no Midway anymore. It's just it lives on through all these types of games and stuff. But I mentioned Mortal Kombat before, completely forgetting that they were linked. Yeah.
Well, that's the second you said Mortal Kombat, I'm like, did they?
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
No, you're right. Yeah, 100%.
They did a lot of good shit. They did Doom 64. They did Killer Instinct. Well, they published.
Yeah.
It was like.
And Doom. I mean, me and Jiggy played it last year. Like Doom 64 is really good.
Doom 64 is pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
I actually think
with Matt Storm.
Yeah, we did with Matt. Yeah, the I don't know when we play. I haven't played all of them, and I think I said that at the time, and I haven't even played all the new ones, which are also pretty good. I think out of the old ones that ended up, I think it's probably my favorite, Doom 64. It was that good. The levels were that good, and it's just, I don't know, it just felt right. It felt good with the 64 controller too, which I was kind of surprised, but yeah, it was.
I think the visuals are really they really hold up just because it's sort of like that in between, like it's still using the sprites, but it also offers that 3D thing, which makes it feel special.
Yep.
Sort of in between.
Aaron, what was the
Oh, dude.
The play that you just saw?
No, I wasn't paying attention. I saw that Midway developed Hydro Thunder, dude.
Yes!
Hydro Thunder.
Yes, we got to do that. All right, the three of us are going to have to play Hydro Thunder.
Duh, and Gauntlet Legends. I'm such a fucking Winky Dink, man. Yeah.
Is Winky Dink your favorite character in Gauntlet Legends?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
If you could fit that in the screen instead of just your initials, you'd put Winky Dink, right?
Winky Dink, hell yeah.
Blitz the League is under Midway, by the way.
What is?
Blitz the League.
Yeah, the one that I have. Yeah, it's published by. It says Renderware. I don't know if that's the developer or another publisher, but I remember the game looking pretty good too. I have not played it since I bought it like 6 months ago.
Dude, Midway did Dr. Muto.
Oh, did they?
That's right.
I didn't know that.
They've
Ready
made
to
so
Rumble
much.
Boxing. They've made so much. They did the Rush 2049.
Yeah, 24. I remember. Yeah.
Rush in general.
Dude, yeah, LA Rush,
Yeah.
all of that, Suffering the Ties That Bind, holy
Rampage.
Rampage. Dude, Rampage.
Midway, I miss Midway so much.
Rampage is one of those games where I feel like I might have told the story on this podcast before, maybe another one, but like we used to do this thing where one of my buddies had like a huge property with a big forest, behind his house and stuff like that. And there was one weekend a year where we'd go to his place and we'd go like camping, on his property, essentially. So we'd go, we'd have dinner with his parents or something and be like, okay, we're going to go set up a tent. We'll see you guys tomorrow at like noon, basically. And we were like, 12 years old, 13 years old, but we were like, really close. Oh, I have to hit pause on this. Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at this screen.
Fuck?
Yeah, look at this screen. Oh, no.
Mustard?
Like, so this is the one that was like the 2025 thing. So I don't know if this is an actual like load screen from like the actual game, but this one they put in there. And if anyone's not watching it, it's basically a fan with a bunch of like cheese whiz poured all over him, I think, is kind of what it looks like. Or like chili dog.
Some sort of
shit.
condiment.
Yeah.
Some sort of condiment.
More than one, I think.
Yeah. Mustard and ketchup. I don't know.
Mustard, ketchup, or like cheese that would be on like
Hey, I need to get some on my hot
Or
dog
like
now.
nachos could be nacho cheese. Yeah, exactly, right? Like
Maybe he was doing the Dumb and Dumber thing. Like he ate something real spicy and he was doing the like, and like shooting it into his mouth,
Shooting
or
in his
face
mouth,
or whatever. Yeah. Here,
And
Lloyd, this helps.
and it's on the strategy tip screen telling you how to use the turbo button. So it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. What
Before
was I
that,
saying?
every
Oh,
screen has been like just pretty girls.
yeah, it's just like the cheerleaders
nice to see
and
a
stuff like that.
change.
Yeah, nice to see nice to see something I actually want to see. No, I'm just kidding.
Dad bod represent.
Yeah, Rampage is one of those games that has like 100 and something levels, 100 levels or something like that. It's super, super long. We played it. We went to go have dinner. We went to go camp for the night, and then we played it again in the morning. Like we kept the 64 on, 4 people, and played the whole game. And I think it took us like 4 or 5 hours. Like it's just a stupidly long. Was it worth it? I don't know. Probably at the time, but would it be worth it now?
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say you went into the woods and like reenacted Rampage, like
Climb the
you guys
trees
go
and like
cool,
started
and you're just
shaking them.
Yeah,
Tried to grab the tree people and eat them.
bust
Like,
something up. I don't know.
3 people. Jesus Christ.
I don't know. Maybe they're jumping off and like trying to jump on like his parents' vehicles and stuff. Like
Oh, atomic elbow that shit.
atomic
Here's what I
elbow.
think of your dad's Range Rover. Fucking
Jumping off the roof. NFL Blitz.
yeah, Blitz.
Midway for life.
I'm high on fentanyl. Woo.
Oh,
Yeah.
dear.
Here. Okay. Oh yeah, I got the what's it called? That sound. Which one's I? Oh, here, this one. Anyone see what's driving that truck?
Makes sense.
It's great. And then the players tripping each other, saying you're pathetic. And sometimes when you get hit, the guy just like grabs his leg. He's like, "Oh, I think it's broken."
I saw that.
It's so good.
Great.
I love that stuff. And then I think you guys were mentioning a little bit before, but some of the moves that you do, like the hits that you do, are hilarious. And it seems like, I don't know if they're randomized or if it matters. Like,
Look at that.
yeah, that guy like suplexed them.
It just
That was
literally
fucking tight, dude.
flipped him behind his back. It was crazy.
Just like power bombs him behind him, like just hoo-yah!
I can't believe the timing of that.
You just
were
threw that guy.
Look at the hits, and he did the like crazy.
And then he does the horse thing after
Yeah.
when he gets it. Like it's it's unreal. Like that stuff is really fun. Does it like make
fucking dead.
he's dead.
The dude just like tackled and like goes straight toward the camera and flies off screen, and the other guy just lays on the ground, doesn't move anymore.
Doesn't move at
Great.
all. I also like, because I love just the way that stuff looks. Even when I had the ball and got stopped, I would run my guy into their players just to see more hits, just so I could see them go flying. Like, it doesn't matter, right? There's no injuries.
It's so good.
There's no penalties or anything like that. Like, one of the things you can do that they like actually say, like, hey, here's a tip, is you can hit the guy before he gets the ball, which in actual football, if you like tackle the guy that's running, trying to, be
no
a
good.
receiver, you get a flag. In this, they encourage you to hit the guy before that happens. Like, take him out so he doesn't get the ball thrown to him. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
On the flip side of that, one of my main strats playing this game was to just like back up like I was about to throw it, and then just start running as the quarterback, like over and over and over.
Yeah,
because
we haven't. I feel
for
like we
some
haven't even
reason
like
that
talked
would-
about the actual gameplay, but yeah.
yeah, that would give me some yard gainage.
Yes.
Otherwise, I'd throw it and they'd somehow miraculously like do an interception like every time, and I'm
yeah.
like, I don't understand. or I just like I'm about to get it, an incomplete pass because they just tackle me to the ground because of that.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes you try to throw to the guy that you think's going to be open, but he's like off screen, and you're like, "Whoa, where's that ball going?" And it just ends up like somewhere else, and then is usually incomplete because you can't see if he's covered or whatever, right? Yep. I thought I was like, oh, I kind of remember like throwing the ball all the time, like that's the best way to, and you would assume that the best way to get a lot of yards and get far and all that kind of stuff. Look at that! I got a touchdown with 0 seconds left in the game, and I won.
Eagles win.
Eagles.
Fatality.
It does look very Mortal Kombat-y.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the more I look at this, the more I'm like, wow, this is like Mortal Kombat.
just with the football.
Just football.
Just the football is in it. Otherwise, it's beating each other up.
Look at that with the lightning and everything.
Yeah, that's what the hits games are like too. Like literally the menu when you like choose stuff, lightning bolts hit it and shit. Like it's just. You know, and you can make your own characters. You can have like an alien head, like all those kinds of things, right? But those games came out after, so it's different. Yeah, so I found actually running was actually pretty good. I actually was like getting a lot of yards and actually getting far by just doing what you said, Jiggy, and actually like sort of moving myself around and going, oh shit, there's an opening, and then running like 20 yards or something like that, and actually doing all right.
They amplified the opposing team's speed though, so like you start running and everyone just like gets 20 times faster.
Yeah, it's like a rubber banding.
It's Canary Mary all over again.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and also the worst part about this game is this is me going through my like controller pack to try and like save the game. You need to like have almost like a completely empty thing.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I know. It's looking for 123 free pages. I have 9.
Oh, holy shit.
Yeah, and look how many games have like nothing on them. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm not getting rid of No Mercy for Blitz. I'm not doing it. Sorry. And I'm not getting rid of NHL because me and my buddies are trying to like play a season and we get to play this.
And you can't get rid of Superman.
And can't get rid of Superman, even though it only takes up 1 page. Although I might have actually deleted Superman. I don't know. I don't remember if I did or not.
How dare you?
I might have. But like 123 is like the whole thing almost. I'm pretty sure. I don't know why. I don't really understand why it would need so much.
That's fucking wacky, man.
Yeah, so this is when I was playing on the EverDrive and stuff. I did play it a little bit, emulated a little bit on Steam Deck just to see what it's the same, but then you don't need to have the controller pack to save, so whatever, right?
Man, Nintendo on the 64, I feel like they were just making you like they just wanted you to have multiple controller packs.
Oh yeah.
Like that was the thing, and I'm like, nah.
No. The whole like
got one of these?
Memory card? What?
It's a forever pack.
No, I do not have a forever pack.
Okay, yeah, you should get one of these.
Yeah,
they hold a lot of storage.
Would you like to tell me what it is, or?
It's a forever pack.
Thanks.
That's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know. I'm
it's literally,
sold.
I'm trying to think of the YouTuber, but he did it with his buddies and they make it. And it's just like got lots of pages on it, and it doesn't use the battery memory that a lot of those controller packs use.
Oh.
So that's why it's forever. So it's just like a normal controller pack. The only caveat to this, and they might have updated it, was that things like time trials and Diddy Kong Racing require like something stupid like 128 pages or something. And there was like a cap off that it didn't quite reach that. So maybe NFL Blitz hits that cap off and you wouldn't be able to save.
Or it's at the cap maybe.
Or it's at the cap.
Yeah.
It's something weird. I think it's been updated, but
still
I use it for everything. It's great.
It's a good idea. Damn. That's the thing is like we have the EverDrive that we use to play the games, but like, you're supposed to play it. The point is that we're playing it like the authentic way and no save states and things like that with it. But like you need to save your game if the game allows you to do that. And you need the fucking pages to do it if you want to do it that way. And it's 123. I was like, no, sorry.
Always disappointed when a game cannot save to the cartridge.
Yeah.
Like growing up, it was devastating to me. Like Rayman 2 was one that I just loved. And I was like, I don't have a controller pack.
Oh, you need it for that too. Oh, I wonder why.
Oh, it was awful.
I guess I don't know. Is that game that massive that they had no space? I guess.
Pretty big game, but like Banjo-Kazooie didn't need one.
Yeah, right. That game's huge.
Mario didn't need one.
Yeah, Mario didn't need one. Yeah, that's right.
It makes sense for like time trials and stuff like that are a little more like you could save a ridiculous amount of them or something, you know?
The only thing with sports games and ones like similar to this is that I don't think in the very first one you can make your own team, but in the later ones you could.
Yeah.
And you can also make your own plays. Like, I guess you could take it to a friend's place and stuff, but to take up
the
an
annexation of Puerto Rico.
Super Bowl winners.
Like some really fucking stupid play where a dude just runs around in a circle over and over and over until he dies.
I tried it really briefly. It's not bad for a game this age to, you know, from this time to be able to, like, you know, basically you select the receiver or the runner or whatever, and you kind of just run them along the field, and then the guy will just follow that pattern, and you're like, oh, do you want to confirm that movement? Yes. Do you want to try again? Yes or no. That's cool. And then you pick 3 or 4 receivers, and you if you want to position the quarterback right behind the lineman or a little bit further back, which is shotgun, I believe, where he's like a couple feet back from the line, and that's it. And then you just hit save, and you're like, cool, now I can use this, and it just adds it to your playbook. And I'm like, okay, awesome, because all the plays are the same no matter what team you are. So
I just noticed something.
Yeah.
One of the
I suck at this game sometimes.
No,
yeah.
Well, no, I noticed that a long time ago.
Yeah, okay.
No, I suck too. One of the plays was called Sub-Zero.
Yep.
And now it makes me want to go back and read all the plays and see if they're like Mortal Kombat references or other Midway game references. Cruisin' was up there.
Cruisin' is one of them, too. Yeah, which is their game too, the Cruisin' games. Yeah. Okay,
that's awesome. I didn't even think about that.
Let's see.
There's one called Dr. Muto or something.
Well, that would have been way later.
Oh,
that would have been awesome,
yeah,
though.
that was PS2.
Yeah.
Zigzag. These are Monkey might be something.
Yeah, Cruisin's the only one I
Cruisin's
recognize.
one. Some of these are actual, like QB Post is like an actual play. I don't know. Spider Legs. Spider Legs could be a reference to something. Sounds like it could be. I don't know. What else is there here? Let's see. I don't know what else I picked. Turmoil. Dog Hook. DAWG.
Sub-Zero. There it is.
Yeah, Sub-Zero. Hail Mary is obviously an actual play. And then all the defense plays are pretty limited, unfortunately. I wish there was more. Like, I wish there was more crazy, like, blitz plays so you could just send everybody at them. And there's, like, 2 of those, and that's it. I mean, you could do whatever you want with your player that you're selecting, but for all the other players on the field to kind of do the same, to do a blitz or a suicide that they call it and stuff, like...
A suicide, fuck yeah.
Yeah, man. Just everybody go at him. Oh, come on, that was a catch. So I think, it's a sports game. It's an arcade game.
Yep.
It's crazy, violent fun. I do think, Jiggy, we sort of blew past it a little bit, but I do think that it does still look pretty good. I agree.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's got those chunky polygons and characters and stuff, but, like, it makes sense, I think. Like, it works for this.
Every character is, like, the same model with just color palette differences.
I think there's a couple guys that look like the linemen. I think are just like a little bit. They have like a belly on them. Essentially, that's the difference. Like
slightly bigger.
Yeah, but I think
everybody has the same buff arms.
Exactly. Everyone's just huge and jacked, which is
exactly.
Not the case.
They're built like Samus, dude. They've got those big old power suit shoulders. Yep. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now we just need that NES.
Fucking. Like 5 dudes dove at that one guy. Oh
that's a suicide. That's probably because it was a suicide.
So good.
Yeah.
Football is the ultimate strategy RPG, man.
You see when they're standing there and they're like wiggling their legs like Elvis. Do you see that?
Oh yeah, like when they're ready to like.
They're like waiting for the punt. They're like,
I got it. I'm gonna get it. That's Elvis, right? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's what he does. He says, "I'm gonna get it."
He was piggybacking that dude.
So that's the other thing. So like if a team is on fire, for example, one of the things you get is like if someone tries to tackle you from behind, if that guy's like hitting boost and I don't know how it determines this. The guy who's on fire will carry that guy like a piggyback for like 10 yards before he falls down. That kind of shit's amazing. Awesome. Like that stuff is great. Like we need more of this. We've said it already, but we need more of this shit, Like
this is honestly, man, this is way more. I'm getting way more laughs out of this than I would regular football. Like just watching them flip over each other and piggyback, and like that dude fucking dove 30 feet in one direction, man. That was so cool. What? They're just fighting, dude. Yeah,
I'm telling you,
so
if you guys, whether it's an emulation thing, which I know is not super easy with the original Xbox or something, but if you want to play an updated version, look for Blitz the League. I think they made more than one of them. I just have the first one. And if you have an original Xbox, like, it's not going to be expensive. I mean, maybe 10 or 15 bucks at the most when you see it. So it is 100% worth playing. I haven't played it in a while, but I remember at the time, one of those ones where I think I think rentals might have still been a thing at the time, and I rented it, and then I liked it so much that I bought it when I saw it like on sale when I was younger, and I still have the same, I got rid of it, but I was like, I still have the same Xbox. I'm gonna find this game again, and I'm gonna buy it. Like, it's great, and it's stupid violent. It's not, it doesn't take itself seriously like none of these games do. So, good updated version if you want to. You can play it on more modern hardware. It looks pretty good from what I remember. Or just go back and play these. Like, they still hold up. It doesn't really matter what they look or sound like or whatever. They're still fun. Like, the gameplay of it is just stupid fun. And even when you lose, like when I lost a couple games, I was like, all right, whatever, cool, I'll just play again. Like, it's great. I'll jump in again.
They're super quick. Super quick.
Yeah, the games are like maybe like 15 minutes or something. Like, they're not long at all. So
that's really cool.
Yeah, so that's great. So, Jiggy, every once in a while, I remember to ask what we would rate the games. So this time I remembered. Regardless of which one we played, what do you think of NFL Blitz, if you wanted to give it sort of a number out of 10?
Probably like a 7.5.
Nice. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah.
I think it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It's
not something I would sit there.
Boss, what about you?
Boss. I would say, it's 7.5 or like an 8, because like, even as a non-football guy, I still thought it was super entertaining. I would love to get a friend over and just goof around and go fucking nuts on this game.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it, right? Is that it lets you just kind of fuck around, and if you mess up or if you get tackled or it's an interception, you're like, great, let's do it again. Like, it just does not. It encourages you to just keep going because it is so fast. Like, every aspect of the game is fast. Everything, no matter what happens during the game, selecting plays, like Jiggy said a while ago, the way
5 seconds. 5 seconds.
5 seconds. It's really not enough. You're right. It really actually is not enough. I agree.
Read the names. Read like 3 of them and go, well, I hope this one works.
Yeah. Hey, I haven't seen that arrow point that direction before. I'm going to pick that one.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, and there's multiple pages. I didn't even realize that.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah, page 3.
Yeah, there's three pages, I think, for offense. I think defense, there's 1, maybe 2, depending on which game it is.
You have to have savant levels of reading to be able to...
Oh, yeah. You have to know exactly where you're going. I think I'm on the same page. 7.5, 8 is probably where I'd be too. It's just stupid fun, and that's great. It's refreshing, honestly. Yep. Like, with all the games, like modern games especially, having something like this is what we need, which is why I think we've said so many times so far, that's why we would want something like this, whether it's actual like humans playing the game, or it's, the mutant football or the robot baseball that I was talking, like, just give us some more of stuff similar to that. I think we need a breath of fresh air with crazy shit like this. Like, we just do. And this does it, and did it for years. And it's just been too long since we've had something like this. Or at least something that, was insanely popular like this one was, right? So, NFL Blitz, great games. Pick up any of them, honestly. I think you're going to have a good time no matter what. They all pretty much play almost exactly the same. Just as fast, just as crazy.
Yeah, they're fun.
Yeah, they're great. The ones that are like 2000, 2001, if you're playing like this version of them with the real players, just looks a little bit sharper, just because they were able to sort of fine tune things. But after that, they're still awesome games. So NFL Blitz, check it out. And gentlemen, thank you for joining me. Jiggy, where can everybody find your stuff? What's happening sort of early bit of the year here in 2025?
Well, go find me on YouTube, and we're starting to dive into actually PlayStation 1. So a little bit of blasphemy going on here, but people have been requesting PlayStation enough, and I'm like, you know what? Let's play some PlayStation games. So
Hey,
we're covering some of the platformers on that, so it's gonna be
nice.
fun.
Well, same generation, so it's
Oh yeah,
it's
inferior controller, but whatever.
I 100% agree with that. Early PlayStation. I mean, honestly, I'm just not a fan of PlayStation controllers in general. The 5 is.
Really?
I think 5 is.
I actually do like the DualShock. Full disclosure.
Yeah, it's okay. That's all right. The 5 is great in a lot of ways, like for a lot of reasons, but I still very much despise the fact that the joysticks are just right beside each other in the middle of the control. I hate it.
Yeah,
I
if you have
absolutely
big
hate
fucking
it.
thumbs, they just collide. Like
That or
shit drives
my
me nuts.
fingers always, my thumbs always like slip off of one of them inevitably, depending on what game it is. Like my hand just does not.
It's got slippy thumbs.
I got slippy thumbs, man.
Oh yeah,
You know?
I know like the DualShock or the so the PS1 with the analog sticks and the PS2 and PS3, they just had like the bald man thumbsticks.
Yeah.
Do newer PlayStation consoles, do they have like the little like
Yeah,
concave?
they have a divot. Like
Okay.
yeah.
4 and
Yeah,
5
yeah.
have a much better.
That's
like,
good. That's
but
good.
those, like the 2 and 3, like there's no way I can't like
The
I have to
Vin
like
Diesel
concentrate.
sticks, dude.
Listen, the PS5 controller is like a near perfect controller,
It's great.
That's good.
and
It's great.
honestly, I also like the joystick thing isn't a huge deal to me, but I do prefer the like Xbox orientation of like
Yeah.
it just feels more natural.
Yep.
But the battery life is something that really irks me on those controllers. Like they're epic and like the haptic feedback and stuff is cool, but the battery life is trash.
Yeah.
The Pro controller on the
On the
Switch.
Switch.
Yes.
Aside from the triggers, which aren't the greatest,
Mhm.
otherwise it's got the haptic feedback. Not to the extent that the PlayStation has, but it just lasts like 80 hours versus
It does.
Right.
like 4 hours on my PlayStation controller.
Yeah, and God forbid you play it for a couple hours, you let it sit out for a couple days, and it's like, oh, now you only have half an hour left. Like, what the fuck? Because like those batteries, they
I hate
sort of,
PlayStation controllers. I have to cycle through them on a charger.
Yeah.
Like every time I turn it on, I basically have to switch the controller, and I
If
do
this-
not play that long.
Yeah, right. I have the Switch ones. I have the Power A ones, which is sort of like the third, sort of like one of the third part. That thing also has a very good battery on it too. I got that a couple years ago, and has the little sort of trigger things where your
the little
other
paddles.
fingers. Yeah, the paddles. That's it. They work great. I played the first game I played with it was when the Prime remaster came out. I guess that was last year.
Ooh.
Yeah, I
And
think so.
I was like, oh, it's a first-person game. I kind of don't want to play it handheld. I want to get it with a controller. They had one on sale. I was like, great. It's great. I really, really like it. And I think it also has Bluetooth built in. I think I could be wrong about that. So I could use it on my computer if I wanted to as well, which is nice. And it has the staggered joysticks, just like it's the same thing as the Pro controller. It has that too. So they figured it out. Why can't Sony?
Right. Even Ambernick
It's
has a
controller.
controller with the
Yes.
staggered sticks, man. The Ambernick RGP01 controller, dude. I use it on my laptop all the time when I emulate shit on Launchbox, dude. It's so fucking quick.
Those
It's so
those
good.
guys have figured some shit out. Those guys have
Yeah.
they pump out. I was just talking to my buddies about this the other day. They pump out so many handhelds that I don't understand how many
Yeah.
people don't have one, because there's like a million different models every month. It
Yep.
seems.
Yep.
They've got one that looks like the Game Boy Advance. They've got
Yeah.
one that looks like the Game Boy Color. One that looks like
Yeah.
the fucking GBA SP. Like just go buy one, man. Use your boy Aaron's link and go buy an Ambernick if you don't have one, man.
Oh,
there it
what is that
is.
link, sir? Let's plug it. Let's go. Or is it
It's a
super
long
long and
one.
complicated?
Let me look.
We're gonna cut to voiceover that
Cut
says
to
the
voiceover.
entire link letter by letter, so
Yeah.
you can spell it out.
We'll be
It's-
here.
it's
We'll be here for
pretty-
30 minutes while he reads out all the numbers and letters.
It's pretty long, but I think you can just use coupon code SuperPod Saga. I think.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. And honestly, I have an Ambernick from, I want to say 3 to 3.5 years ago now. I don't remember which RG something it is. It's kind of like an in-between of like the GBA and PSP size and form factor and stuff. It's great.
yeah.
It's fantastic. It runs PS1, some 64 stuff, but like anything 2D, anything before that generation is flawless, and pretty much all of their stuff is pretty much like that. So, anyways, other than that, Aaron, what about SuperPod, the network, all that kind of stuff? Let's plug away one more time.
Yeah, man. So if you want just me, SuperPodSaga.com, you can find all of my episodes there and socials and all that. And also, my website has a link right to SuperPod Network, so you can go, which that is just SuperPodNetwork.com.
Yep.
So you can find SuperPod Saga, Remember 64. You can find Time, all of Bill's shows. He's got 3 shows.
Yeah, Bill's a machine, man.
He is a machine. There's a bunch of awesome shows pumping out content all the time. Got blogs coming all the time, man. Yeah, go check all of that out.
Nice. Well, that's it for this week, everybody. Thank you for joining us on this journey of professional, everybody, we know everything about football show. That's what this was, right? Yeah. That made sense.
Hail Mary.
Hail Mary, everybody.
Hot dogs. Get your hot dogs.
Let's do that football. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. See you next time. Bye.